discover it or do you develop it? You develop it. Please write this down. You are not born with any passion. Please don't get this wrong. If you think you're born with a passion and then you have to go looking for something that's going to match your passion, you will be starting from the wrong end of the tunnel. How do you develop passion? You develop passion by becoming a master at something. Passion is a result of mastery. So if you are reasonably interested in something, you gain specialized knowledge that there is. All the specialized knowledge that there is for you to gain, you gain relevant experience and you become a master at that craft. You will eventually grow into passion. You'll become passionate about that particular thing. That is how people become passionate, because they have gained mastery in a certain field. So if you want to gain a lot of passion in your current job, make sure that whatever your role is, you really understand your company's products and services really well. Whatever you do, you understand that really well. You gain specialized knowledge, you gain that experience, and you become a master at what you do. So good, they can't ignore you. Okay, there's a book written by Cal Newport, so good that they can't ignore you. This is where this is from. That's where he's busting the passion mindset. Okay, read the book if you like. It's a wonderful book. That's what he says, that if you think that you were born with a passion, you're starting from the wrong end of the tunnel. That is how people grow into their passion, by becoming a master at what they do. And that is what will give you a lot of confidence on the platform. Okay? Now, see, understand that your current identity has a certain set of habits. Now, these habits may be serving you well, they may not be serving you well. But if they're serving you well, it's fine. But if they're not serving you well, you've got to understand that you have to literally break up from this current identity of yours. It is the psychological identity that I'm talking about. It is the story you're telling yourself that I am this and that, okay? And this person that you think you are has a set of habits. And if these set of habits are not serving you, this identity is of no use. You have to develop a more strong identity, a more powerful identity that has powerful habits. Okay? So that is when I say that if you are currently operating at your 2x identity, and I'll explain what a 2x identity is, I want you to operate at your 10x level. But when I tell people that, they become very conservative about it. When I ask them that what is your definition of your 10x identity, they're very scared to even imagine that. Very scared to imagine. And they say, no, I don't want to be, I'm fine with this current identity, I don't want to be my 10x, why should I be? See, that is where I'm really reminded of this lady by the name Marianne Williamson, okay? This lady had written a wonderful book by the name A Return to Love. In that book, she mentions that we were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in every one of us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. So what does that tell you? What does that simply tell you? It simply tells you that when you transform, you're not just doing a favor to yourself. You are being of service to the world. Because then your mere presence will enable transformation in other people, because then they want what you have. Because there's something about you that they want. So much value you could add to your own family, to your friends, to your neighbors, your colleagues, without even uttering a word. Your mere presence can have that impact. That is the reason why you need to transform. Okay? And you need to care about that 10x identity of yours. Because if you don't transform, and if you don't become a better communicator, you're not going to be able to have an impact on anyone. And if you want to take your career to the next level, you want to become a powerful leader who's able to influence, motivate, and who's able to persuade people to take some sort of an action, then you might as well care to become that 10x identity. Otherwise, it's not going to be possible. Look at anybody in the senior management team and tell me if they are not those kind of leaders. I'm sure there are some misfits there. I'm not saying all are good. Okay? But the ones you admire, and then ask yourself a question, why do you admire them so much? Because they are executing something. The mere presence makes you feel something. Their charisma, the mere presence, that is why you should transform. Okay? See, there was another book. This particular book was inspired by another book called A Course in Miracles. Look it up, okay? This is a very famous book by Helen Schuckman. Helen Schuckman says that I have not written a single word of this book. It was dictated to me through a process called inner dictation. She says this book was dictated to me by Lord Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not a Christian, okay? I'm not trying to propagate any religion. I'm a Parsi. So don't get me wrong. The only thing I'm really trying to impress upon you is that I think even God wants us to become the best version of ourselves so that we're able to serve other people. Tell me and ask yourself a simple question that if you don't become a better version of yourself, can you be of service to anyone? You cannot. You simply cannot. And if you're not able to communicate effectively, can you have an impact on another person's life? You simply cannot. You simply cannot. Okay? That is the reason why it is so important for you to become the 10x version of yourself, to become the best version of yourself. That is when you could be of service to others. You have to put service on the forefront. Everything else will come to you as a byproduct. That's when people will trust you, they will accept you as a leader, they will respect you. You don't earn that trust, they will not believe in you at all. Okay? So a good communicator is not somebody who only speaks fluent English. There is so much more than that. Okay? So let's explore these things together. Are we on the same page? Yes, no, maybe. Is this making sense to you all? Is this making sense? Are we all on the same page? Just type something. Yes, no, maybe, not making sense. Type anything. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Others? Excellent. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I'm going to show you a video of a gentleman. And I'm showing you this video of this gentleman who went through a 4-day workshop with me. This person is quite at a senior level in the corporate world. He's in the training department, but he was also struggling with confidence. And despite of his age and despite of the so many years of experience he has, he still came here to learn. So the point I'm trying to tell you is people, no matter at what level they are, they still care about becoming a better version of themselves. Okay, I'm just trying to impress that upon you. He only had an experience of the first day. That's when he shared his experience over here. Okay, so just hear him.
Hi, professors, and the other colleagues. So today the session was awesome. So as a part of my job, I am struggling in the area of communication. So I am a behavioral transformation coach. Recently I took over, but how do I deliver a powerful talk? But in a few, I think less than 1 hour only we have spent time. So I used to watch TED Talks, but I never viewed TED Talk to getting the format or pattern, what is the key message. I just simply listen and close the video. So you have created a spark on me by giving this time. So I have a lot of TED Talks videos, so empathetic listening, respond and react by William Murray. But I never kept that point in my mind to watch this. Now, within that, whatever the assignment you have given, I have prepared my speech. As soon as the session completes, I will put the video also. So, very nice. Thank you so much.
So this was just the first day of that 4-day workshop, okay? Now there's another example I want to share with you. Give me a second. There was another lady by the name Sunita, okay? She's another senior person, okay? She was one day not able to make it for one of the sessions, but somehow she still made it. She was in a taxi, she attended the session, and this is what she had to write to me after this, okay? That, wow, I never thought my ride back home would be so enjoyable and enriching. I would have missed this amazing session. Thank you, Perseus, for such wonderful eye-opening session. You really managed to get us out of our comfort zone and shake up our so-called identities. This indeed has brought so much of clarity in thoughts of what we are, what we have, what needs to be worked upon, and what needs to be discarded. Loved every moment of being part of these 4 interactive sessions. Okay, so this is what people are experiencing. It is not about the way I am presenting or something they liked about me. It is what they got in touch with within themselves. They got in touch with the source of power that is lying dormant inside them. They realize that they are capable of so much more than they thought. Okay? So when you come to a person like me who has a very systematic process, a very scientifically laid down process, and I take you through that process, you will get in touch with things that are already inside you. You just don't know they are. That is what excites them. When they touch that little transformation in them, when they get a flavor of it, that is what excites them. And then they can't contain their excitement and they want to share their stories with the world. That is what happens, okay? So let's talk about this identity shift that I've been talking about. See, I have this very firm belief that when we work in the corporate world, we have gained a lot of experience. We've come really far. So maybe we are in our late 30s or late 40s or late 50s. We've gained a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. We've come to a certain level and we are really good at our job. Very good at our job. Good technical skills, good domain knowledge. That's what I called our 2x identity. The 2x identity is better than 1 because we've gained a lot of knowledge and experience that is limited to our job skills. That is our 2x identity. But the 2x identity will not guarantee that you won't face other challenges. And I can say this from my own personal experience, having spent 19 and a half years in the corporate world, and I've worked across, right from the junior most level to the senior most level. Okay? I can tell you with absolute certainty that there are certain top challenges that almost everyone in the corporate world faces, no matter how much experience they have, no matter how much knowledge they've gained, no matter what kind of education they have. Okay, and tell me after I show you that if that resonates with you. See, the first top challenge that most working professionals face today is limited career advancement opportunities. Okay, and excuse me if there are any typos here. Okay, um, when people spend a lot of time in a certain company, now, despite of the number of years they've spent, despite of all that effort they put in and the great performance, they still feel that why am I not getting the promotion that I truly deserve? Why am I not able to get the salary hike that I truly deserve? Get why don't I become that first preference for the management team? Why am I not getting noticed? Why? That question is a burning question that is in everyone's head. But there is an answer to it. It is not just your performance. Your performance is only about 10% of the whole thing. Okay? See, there's another problem. You are not finding it easy to influence stakeholders. Okay? That is the challenge. So maybe your role requires you to interact with the senior management team. You require to interact with cross-functional leaders to get a buy-in from them, maybe for a crucial project or for something else. Or maybe you have to interact with your customers and your partners. You want to make them to make a buying decision maybe in your favor, but that's not happening. You're not able to influence. You can't influence. I'll tell you what's going on here. When you get an opportunity to get the visibility and exposure of your life, most people, 9 out of 10 people, turn it down. Tell me the times when a speaking engagement has come to your desk, if at all it has ever come. People want you to go and be the speaker at a certain conference or at an event. Have you made excuses to turn the event, to opportunity down, or have you taken it up willingly? There are very few people who take it up willingly. Most people turn it down because they have a lot of fear. So just for that temporary relief, you let it go, but you missed out on your biggest opportunity to get the visibility and exposure of your life. Because imagine if you would have gone there and you would have delivered that talk, how much visibility you would have got. Your photos would have been taken, your video would have been shot, you could have posted that on your Instagram profile. Now your management sees what you did. They know that you represented the company in this way, and that's why they will love you for it. They love people who can talk about their products and services and tell the company story to the outside world. Those are the people who they see as true leaders. They don't care about that you made your objectives and you got your incentives. That's not a leader. That's not a leader. A leader can go out and tell the story of the company and get more clients for the company. That's a leader. So if you can convince the management of that, now you're getting the visibility and exposure. Imagine what people in your industry would think about you. They would put you on a pedestal. They would look at you as an authority in your field. So if you really care about taking your career to the next level, this program is for leaders and aspiring leaders. It is if it doesn't resonate with you, then it's not for you. If you are an aspiring leader, if you want to move to the next level of your career, then this is definitely for you. Because you have to start doing these things. You know how important this is. Even if you become a manager today, in fact, even before the manager, you are required to really present a lot of things. You are required to be in front of people. But what happens when you can't do it effectively? You're not getting the visibility and exposure. And this art needs to be learned. It is not something that comes to you naturally. And then what happens as a result of the first two challenges? You're going to have reduced confidence in your ability to do these things, and then you're going to avoid all these things. You're going to hide yourself constantly. I'll be asked to talk, I'll be asked to come up here and do this. You're hiding. But that obscurity is only going to work against you. Obscurity means you're staying hidden. Okay? When you're staying hidden, you're never going to get the visibility. You're never going to get the exposure. Never in your life. That is the reason why people stop progressing beyond a certain point. Because, like Marshall Goldsmith, he wrote a book called What Got You Here Will Not Get You There. What gets you there are a set of different skills. Please write this down. Please, and I'm going to talk about those skills. You have to acquire a set of different skills if you ever dream to be a part of the senior management team and earn the perks that they earn. You have to make yourself capable of doing that. And the first important skill is the way you can influence people, the way you communicate. That is what is going to get you there. That is what gave me the visibility, because I always took speaking engagements. I never shied away. It gave me so much visibility, so much exposure. I would get promoted easily. People did not even have a shadow of a doubt when it came to promoting me. Not a shadow of a doubt. If the internal job posting, they would roll out an internal job posting only as a formality. I was already chosen. It was only a formality to make it look as though it's all equality, and I was already chosen. That is how things will work for you if you become really capable and you start demonstrating those skills. Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, your 10x identity goes beyond your job skills. It goes way beyond that. You don't have to be just technically sound. Your technical skills and domain knowledge will get you to a certain point. Beyond that, the management does not care about so much about that in their leaders, because then there are other people at the lower level to take care of that. You want to be a leader, then you have to develop some different skills. Okay, what are those skills? I'll talk about it. In my part of the world, the 10x identity is called a 10x story leader. A 10x story leader is a person who's able to tell stories. He or she is a storyteller, and this person is a very dynamic communicator. This person is able to inspire, this person is able to motivate, this person is able to influence, persuade people to take some sort of an action that they will not take on their own, even if it is good for them. So you have to be that leader, that guiding light. That is a 10x story leader who has evolved to a point where this person is living the 10x identity. Okay? If you agree with me, type 10x in the comment box. That if you have to be a leader, you need a set of different skills. Your job skills alone is not going to do it for you. If you agree, just type 10x inside the comment box. Does this resonate with you? Yes, no? Type 10x if this resonates with you. That to be a leader, to be able to influence people and to move to the next level in your career, you need to have a set of different skills. Thank you, Ajay. Anybody else? Does that only resonate with Ajay? Is Ajay the only leader? Anyone else? Okay, think about it. So, the skills that you require are really three important skills, okay? There are certain life skills that you need, there are certain leadership skills that you need, and there are certain execution skills that you require, okay? Thank you. Others as well, okay? Suneet, okay? Bhaskar, okay? So these three skills. Now let's narrow it down. Let's move to life skills, okay? What kind of life skills do you require in order for you to be a 10x story leader, okay? The first life skill that you require is emotional intelligence. What does that mean? Emotional intelligence simply means that you, as a leader, are able to understand and manage your own emotions really well. See, as a leader, if you understand your own emotions and if you can manage your own emotions well, only then will you be able to understand and manage another person's emotion. Okay? That is when you will be showing empathy towards other people. It's not about forcing people. It is about empathizing with them. A powerful speaker is a speaker who is emotionally intelligent, who understands their audience, who is able to cater to their needs really well. So if you agree that a 10x story leader requires to be emotionally intelligent, I want you to type EI inside the comment box. Type EI inside the comment box, okay? The next life skill that you require in order for you to be a 10x story leader is adaptability. See, when you become a leader, you're going to be required to stand in front of a lot of people and inspire them, motivate them, be an example, right? You could be in a different setup. Maybe one day you're in front of the board, the board of directors, One day you're in front of a client, the other day you're giving a guest lecture somewhere. The situation is changing, the audience is different. Maybe something changes while you are delivering the talk. Maybe a technical challenge happens. You have a slide deck, now you can't use the slide deck. You were given 1 hour initially, you prepared for 1 hour, now you have only 20 minutes. What are you going to do? Are you going to be so married to your script and the deck that you can't present without it? Are you going to just freeze in the moment? That's adaptability, that you're able to adapt to changing situations on the fly. So if you agree that adaptability is a very important skill for a 10x story leader, I want you to type AP inside the comment box. If you agree that adaptability is very important for a 10x story leader, type AP inside the comment box. Now, the third skill, you need to be resilient, which means that you have to be willing to bounce back from a failure. See, when you get started on this journey of transformation, where you want to become a very powerful communicator, it will not happen over a flip of a switch. You all know that. You know that. This 1 hour session is to ignite a spark inside you and to get you started on the journey. This is the first step. This is the first step, okay? But there are more steps you need to take. There's something you need to do after this. Only then, and the first attempt, second attempt, you may not succeed. It may not be up to your expectation. Are you going to quit? Or are you going to persist? Persistence is the watchword. And here's where, see, I'll tell you one thing. I want to tell you a very important thing. If you feel that somebody is a born speaker, you're absolutely wrong. All great speakers that you feel are great speakers right now, they were bad speakers at first. But in my personal opinion, anything worth learning or doing is worth doing badly at first. It's okay if you don't do it so well, but it is worth being very persistent on this journey because it's going to add a lot of value to your life. Okay? Here's where I'm going to address the science aspect of it. Okay? Has anybody heard a term called neuroplasticity? Type yes or no in the comment box. Have you heard of neuroplasticity? I'll tell you what it really means. Neuroplasticity simply means that the structure of your brain, the physical structure of your brain, never remains the same throughout your life. It constantly changes depending on the things that you do, the things that you learn. Okay? See, there are nerve cells inside your brain. There are millions of nerve cells that get fired every time that you're learning something new. And when you're learning a new skill, or you're learning a new art, or you're developing something new, a neuron connection gets formed. One neuron will connect with another neuron and a wiring gets formed. And when you repeat that particular activity over and over again, that connection becomes stronger and stronger and stronger to a point where you become a master at that craft. Okay? That's the science. So for example, why can't I fly a plane today? Why does one person know how to fly the plane but I can't? Because I've never done it. That physical wiring inside my brain is not even there. So I have not formed that habit. I don't know. But tomorrow, if I expose myself to it, if I join the institution, I formally learn that thing, slowly and steadily, a neuron connection will get formed inside my brain. And the more I repeat that activity, it will become stronger and stronger and stronger, enabling me to become a master at that. That is how we learn how to drive. The same principle applies to public speaking. So it is not, the way you learn public speaking and master the art of persuasion is not any different than you learn how to play football, basketball, or volleyball. It's the same thing. It's the same principle. Repetition is the mother of skill. That's what they told us always, right? That was the science behind it. That is neuroplasticity. Read up about it. So now when we understand the underlying science, if we follow, just tell me yes or no, if we follow a systematically laid down process and we repeat a certain activity again and again and again, is it not inevitable that we will transform? Because it is pure science. The laws of science, the principles of science are rigid, they are inflexible, they work the same way for everyone. There's only one thing that's needed from your side is your commitment, diligence, consistency. Are you going to do that? Nobody on this planet can stop you from becoming the best communicator that there is, but only if you're willing to put in a little bit of work, not even a lot of work, a little bit of work. And if I am there by your side, I'm going to flatten that learning curve for you. You don't have to go through that trial and error process yourself. I'll show you the laid down path. Okay? That is the advantage of being with a coach. You know, in all organizations that I have worked, in most of them, the senior leaders were given access to a business coach. The coach would train them and coach them in all aspects. The junior people were not given that. Okay, let me please highlight. Only the senior people were given. Why? Despite of so many years of experience, because they are already winning, they want them to win even further. And in my personal opinion, if you've decided to come here for this workshop, you all are winners. That is why you care for your personal development. The loser does not care about their personal development. Losers are happy being where they are. So if you're here right now, it is you think of yourself as a winner. You want to move to the next level. That is why you are here. And those are the people that I work with. I only like to work with winners who really have the burning desire to take their capability to the next level and make an impact. Okay? So this is what it is. This is the science. Now, let's move to leadership skills. What kind of leadership skills are you required to acquire if you want to be a 10x story leader? Very simple. Vision casting. See, if you're a leader, a very powerful communicator, and you have a vision for your people, your team, your company, right? You should be in a position to be able to articulate that vision so powerfully that not only do your people hear you, but they listen to what you say and they feel what you say. Their vision, your vision will align with their vision. You're able to influence them that way. That's called vision casting. You cast a vision so powerfully. So if you agree that vision casting is a very powerful leadership skill that a 10x story leader must possess, I want you to type VC inside the comment box. Type VC inside the comment box. Okay? The next skill is influential communication. Very important. It's connected to this. If you are a 10x story leader, it simply means that you're able to influence people so powerfully, not because you're forcing them and you're a dictator, because they trust you. They really, you are a sort of an living role model for them. So you're able to persuade them to take an action that is good for them, but they would have not taken that action if you would have not led them properly and if you would have not influenced them properly. That's called influential communication, okay? So if you agree that this is important, I want you to type IC in the comment box. If you agree that influential communication is important for a 10x story leader, type IC inside the comment box, okay? The third leadership skill is strategic storytelling. See, in the corporate world, there is a big problem. People love to throw abstract information on people, and then they really wonder, why does my audience not resonate? Why are they so bad? I mean, we think the audience is bad, but the problem is not with the audience. It's the things that we are doing. Had we planned to do it a little bit differently, maybe there's an important message that we want to deliver, there are important numbers we want to share. What if we weaved all of that information into a story, a narrative, and then shared that information with them? Now that information that you wanted to share will suddenly come to life. Why did I share my personal story at first? Because I wanted to connect with you on a much deeper level. I understand human psychology. I know how a human to human connection is formed. When I formed that connection with you, I earned your trust a little bit. So you opened up to me a little. So now you are being a little bit receptive to what I am saying. Do you agree? So do you agree that strategic storytelling is a very important skill for a 10x story leader? If you agree, type SS inside the comment box if you feel it's a very important skill. Okay? Now let's come to execution skills. What kind of execution skills do you really need if you want to be a 10x story leader, a very powerful communicator? This is where the tactical stuff comes in. You have to be a master at the art of presentation. Right from developing the right kind of slides, okay, to the methods of delivery being used, your body language, your nonverbal communication, your voice modulation, the way you modulate your voice, and you bring about a certain variation in the tone, pace, and pitch to make sure that your intended message lands very impactfully. Okay? All of that tactical stuff of public speaking is a skill you must master if you want to have an impact on people. If you agree, type PM. If you agree that presentation mastery is important, type PM inside the comment box. Okay. Another execution skill is feedback incorporation. Throughout this journey, you are required to seek feedback starting from your own self. So when you record yourself and you watch yourself back, now you know how other people see you and how they hear you. When you know this, you're able to make some changes. You've got the feedback, right? So feedback incorporation is very important. If you think this is important, type FI inside the comment box. If you think this is an important skill for a 10x story leader, type FI inside the comment box, okay? The last one is consistent performance. I'll tell you why this is important, okay? We all know of Ronaldo, right? We know he's a world champion. Now, for example, say if Ronaldo has a match, a tournament coming 3 months from now, but he tells himself that, I'm a world champion. I know it all. I've played so many matches. I don't care. I'm not going to practice. I'm just directly going to show up. If he shows up for that tournament, his performance will stay the same. Will it go up or will it decline? Now, this is despite of the fact that he's a world champion. What do you think? Type in the comment box. Will it stay the same? Will it go up or will it decline? Despite of the fact that he's a world champion. It is definitely going to decline. Why? Because there is some science behind this. Again, it is neuroplasticity. So if a connection got formed, a powerful connection got formed and it became very strong through repetition, if you don't repeat that task long enough, it could also weaken and eventually break. That is how habits are broken. Okay? So please understand the underlying science behind these things. That is why your consistent performance is very, very important. So if you agree that consistent performance is also important for a 10x story leader, type CP inside the comment box. Okay? Awesome. Now, I'm going to skip this slide for now. You must be wondering, okay, great. Everything you said is fantastic. How do I acquire